going back to what you said, that is, I think, has really been significant to me, is that when I'm feeling angry, I'm contributing to the anger, no matter how quote unquote justified or righteous or understandable it is. So to in that case, being angry at this gross mistreatment, I can just notice that I'm feeling angry and invite, I guess, or just remember that I'm compassionate awareness, as you said, and that ultimately the most beneficial thing is to just have compassion for myself being angry and let it kind of dissipate to serve a greater purpose of holding compassion. That is what I really want to see. Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah. So the only other thing that I would kind of add to that is that underneath the anger, in a case like that, you're probably feeling really, really sad
Mm,
and maybe some amount of shame, especially if you're identifying with the victim in the story.
mm,
So whenever you identify with the victim in the story, whether it's you or someone else, when you feel like a victim, you feel powerless, and powerlessness is the cause of rage.
mm,
So so instead of the rage, because the rage is a response to shut down the shame feeling, the hopeless feeling that comes from feeling victimized or seeing someone be victimized. It's a horrible feeling to feel like this is going to happen and I can't do anything. So the rage is a way to push that away a little bit because it's very overwhelming. So the other thing that you learn if you don't indulge in the anger is how much your heart can really withstand. Like how much your heart can really open to pain and suffering of yourself and other people. So it just lets your heart grow instead of trying to cover up the whole thing with anger. So there's not necessarily a problem with the anger, but like you're saying exactly, it can be an invitation to investigate what is going on, what triggered this anger feeling, what's underneath. So there's always these opportunities to come back to that our natural state is open, loving awareness and compassion. And compassion is open. It means your heart is open. And then, all kinds of horrible, terrible things, right, are there in the world for us to be opening our hearts to. So it's hard. We're not trained to do this. We're trained to do the opposite. We're trained to know that's wrong and I'm going to fix it and you can't do that and I'm going to fight it and I'm going to, instead of just letting it break your heart, right? And when you do that, your heart expands and you see how strong it is. You see how, wow, really, you can feel compassion for people that you never met. You don't know their name. It's a way of connecting with all kinds of people, right? Like you're really there with them and their suffering instead of being angry. And the other thing is that if someone is being victimized, meaning like their psyche or their body is being victimized, we tend to think that it like that overtakes the whole person, right? Like this is so horrible because that person's ruined forever. I can't let that happen. So horrible. But if you know that that person also, their true nature is compassionate, loving awareness, and that nothing that's done to them can affect in any way their true self, that there is a part of them or who they really are that never ever is victimized and can't be victimized, then you're also connected with them in that way. So you're not viewing them as a victim solely, as something that is hurt and ruined and injured. but you know that, wow, this is happening to them, just like something happens to you, happens to your body or your psyche, and that the body and the psyche, they can heal. They can be injured and they can heal. And they're not who you are. And that person that's getting hurt, that's not who they are. That's just their body. That's just their emotional body. It's just their psyche. Who they really are is just God. And that can't be injured, right? So you're connecting with them on both levels. You open your heart to the suffering, and you also see yourself in them, because you both are loving awareness.